All right, Mom, it's September 17th in the afternoon.
This is when I was a sophomore in high school in Orson's Cove. And we had a very progressive home ec teacher. She did things different, had groups. Now, when we did sewing, we did it all at the same time. When we did cooking, she divided it into groups. You're in a group like hostess, co-hostess, head cook, other kind of cook, and you did book work, and you also then made things. And I think her name was Mrs. Points, and I think she was a cousin, second cousin or third cousin of my mother. But the radio station in Roaring Spring was going to interview her about it, so she picked me to go to that, and she would give the question, and then I would answer the question about the program. So I was on the radio once, and they gave us these sheets of paper, and she would give the question, and then I would answer, and then just take that piece of paper and drop it off to the side. So that radio station's probably not even around anymore, and I forget which one it would be. But, and then, she really was ahead of her time in teaching. I think she ended up at Hollidaysburg, where my cousin Amber and her husband taught. Another class she offered was home ec art. Sounds sort of strange, but she did knitting, crocheting, different kinds of things you could do. I remember one time she had different colors of foil, and we did something where we took the foil and put it on a paper or something and made a picture of something to decorate with. And the reason that came to mind, when we were crocheting, I was taking my ball yarn and crochet hook home to do some work on it, and I did something, and a crochet hook got into my hand right here. It was right when school was ready to be out. And she knew which way the hook was pointed, so evidently the principal or somebody, and Mrs. Points, I think that was her name, took me to the doctor, and she said, well, the hook is turned that way, so they didn't have to tear up my hand to get it out. And then they took me home. So those are two things I remember about. But I remembered she was really a progressive, thinking back, I didn't think of it at the time, was a real progressive home ec teacher.
And what high school was that?
It was called Morson's Cove. Now it's combined. It's called Cove Central, where Carol's two grandkids go to school.
Okay.
And it's a combination of different high school districts that combined quite a few years ago. I think Martinsburg, Cove High, Roaring Spring, and some others, they made it Central Cove. So those two things came to mind. I thought they were rather interesting.